If you're a heating air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what do you need to know about getting to the table and why does it matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you on video number 10. We have talked all about getting to the table. You should find this playlist. All the videos will be in this video description. But 10, video number 10, we are talking about the F-up, the follow-up. Don't be dirty. The follow-up. And so here's what happens is you spend all that time with your hands in a heating and air unit, in a boiler, in a furnace, working on ductwork, working on a system, only to get to the table, only for the people to say, I got to think about it. And then you're like, well, peace out, Girl Scout, I'm done, and never have a conversation. Like your job, your role, your responsibility is to follow up. And in this day and age, you have multiple formats, okay? I'm going to give you some tech names. It doesn't mean you have to use them. I am not sponsored by anybody. Figure out which one works for you. Okay, so first and foremost, you can grab your phone and you could text people. Second, you can email. And you know what? You could use ChatGPT, you could use Jasper, you could go and swipe, do not copy word for word. You can copy emails that you have seen that you like and change them up to make your style, to fit your needs, to fit your voice. You should have between 5 and 7 follow-up emails. You should have between 5 or 6 or 7 text messages you can send out. On this list, you could get a product called Closer Memes by Drew B. Wilson, right? That dude's in the hardcore closer group. You know, don't know him, never met him. I think I've talked to him once or twice in text message. Seems like a cool dude. He's got a cool product. It's like $49. You know, you could get a product like Warm Welcome. And Warm Welcome is where you can send video messages back and forth and thank people for coming out, you know, or having the conversation with you or having them have you come out. You can go to Google and type in sites like warmwelcome.com. You can go full on crazy and build out an entire funnel process in Go High Level where it's got a Twilio account where it text messages people or SMS it, right? There is so many different ways that you could use technology. It is your role and responsibility to figure out how you are going to follow up, right? I gave you like 7 different ways just right there. And know that almost everybody has one game plan. They got one play in the playbook, right? Their playbook is this. Hey, I was calling just to see where you're at and just to follow up. What do you want to do? That is your competition, right? That is 100% their playbook. They got one question, one thing that they can do. Your ability to get past that is to come up with 7 different ways to ask for the business, preferably 10. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's going to come to your favor, and I'll tell you why. But first, you should join the HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. Which that means is private coaching, private training, group training, or discounted coaching, discounted training. So I know I quote my friend Dr. Kevin Hogan a lot, but the guy's had a lot of influence on my life. He wrote a book called Invisible Influence, and he talked about dating. And in this book, he talked about irresistible attraction, wrong name of the book, irresistible attraction. And he interviewed a lot of women about dating, a lot of women. And he said, what do you not like about men when it comes to dating? And they go, how persistent they are. And he said, interesting. Why did you end up with them? Because they followed up and they kept calling. Now, this was like 20 years ago, early 2000s, when him and his co-author wrote this book. But what you need to know, sales is similar. Most people go out, they give a prezo, they leave a presentation, and they never, ever, ever, ever follow up. And stats, depending upon who you look at and when you read them, say that sales happen between the 7th and 13th follow-up. Well, if your competition has one play in their playbook, by you having 2, you are 200% better, right? Automatically. And you can send memes, you can send text messages, you can send emails, you could go back and knock on the door. I learned that from a dude, Gary, that I worked with. You could totally go back and knock on the door, right? You can send a gift in the mail. Like, the sky is the limit. Just don't do crazy stuff to get yourself arrested from harassment. Now, here's what you need to know. At some point, the person's going to say, no, I decided to go with XYZ. We're holding off. Now, if they said we went with XYZ, gracefully break up. Well, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate you having me coming out. Move on. Okay. Now, if they say we're holding off, say, hey, would you find it offensive if I reached out to you on X date? Like, 3 months from now. And a lot of times people say no. Now, if they say, hey, don't ever reach out to me again, they've made their decision. Just move on. There's plenty of fish in the sea. There's plenty of opportunity out there. But no, for you, most salespeople never, ever, 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 ever follow up. So you have a lot of advantage By you having 2 follow-up mechanisms, you can beat 50% of the population. By you having 3, you could beat like 70%. By having 4, you could beat 80%. You've already given the presentation, and if you're using tech to your advantage, you already have these files saved. You already know what you're going to say. You already know what you're going to do. I keep swipe files in my phone of text messages on a document, and I just drop a name and I put things in there that I need to. I keep swipe files of my email, and a swipe file is this. It's just a template of what I'm going to say and what I'm going to do. And so like I've got 7 text messages for following up when it comes to working with business owners to train their technicians, plumbers, roofers, or electricians, right? I have emails. I have videos. You don't know this on an iPhone. I can send up to a 3-minute video through a text message on an iPhone. On an Android, I can only do 30 seconds. And on an iPhone, the video is going to be phenomenal. On an Android, it's not. So when I meet with people and I talk to them, do you have an Android? Do you have an iPhone? And when they say, I've got an Android, I make a note. I could do a 30-second video. If they say I got an iPhone, I'm like, aha. I grab my business line, which is an 808 area code, my Hawaii number, and then we go from there. Make sure you're doing your follow-up, and I'm going to give you a follow-up right now. You've got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. Hit follow if this is social media, or 3, share this video with a friend. Just want to let you know that I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. We will see you soon.